Welcome back to another episode of the Hardcore Casual with your boy, Base the Kid. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, and anyone in between. It's all appreciated. That being said, there's a couple of quick things that have happened over the last couple days. Couldn't really fit into the last video, so I decided I want to address some of it now, plus some more relevant breaking news that just occurred, I guess technically yesterday when you watch this. So without further ado, let's get into it. So it looks like the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is taking shape. More than likely, it'd probably end up being the third fight of Canelo's 3-fight deal with the PBC. I mean, when we're looking at it, both of them are saying little things back and forth to each other. It's like respectful, but not totally. I mean, recently you had Canelo basically say that, you know, Terence is a great fighter and he had a great win over Spence, and Spencer's a great fighter, but that's the only great fighter on his resume. Like everyone else, not so good compared to Spence. Now, while I'm not going to be doing, like, you know, resume comparisons at this point in time, I feel like that's a little bit disingenuous. Like, Terence Crawford's resume is underrated for the time frame of when he fought a lot of people. Like, for instance, look, Julius Ndongo, undefeated fighter when he fought him. Yeah, he turned into something different once Terence defeated him, but, you know, this is the same guy that went to Russia and, you know, knocked out Troyanovsky in a round, and Troyanovsky at that time was considered one of the most feared guys in the division. Julius Ndongo done that, you know, went to Ricky Burns' backyard and took his title off him to unify the division in the first place. Even when he fought Ricky Burns the first time, like, Ricky Burns was, you know, he was one of the prides of Scotland in the UK. So, you know, you got those. You had an unbeaten Yuriorkis Gamboa. You know, Terence Crawford was the first person to hand him a defeat, and that was Gamboa at his, you know, at his pomp, at his prime, when he was with TMT Promotions. So look, yeah, I feel like a lot of Terence's resume, especially the older part of the resume, is a subject of recency bias more than anything else. And obviously you understand, because I guess you look at someone's greatness by what they done after you beat them, or what they done in their career as a sum total. So if you then get someone that went from being 22-0 to say 32-16, for instance, just as an example, then yeah, okay, it's not really a great indictment, but you have to look at people that when you fought them a lot of the time. But that being said, I mean, Canelo is right that he has a lot more names on his resume, 100%, or well-known names, or names that people know. You know, Danny Jacobs, Triple G 3 times, you know, like Austin Trout, I guess at that particular time, Floyd Mayweather, Amir Khan. You know, there's a lot of names there that people know. The one thing that I would say though is there's a lot of contentious victories that Canelo has. A lot of people think he lost the Lara fight. I know some people were maybe saying he probably was losing the Trout fight. Obviously he lost to Dimitri Bivol, lost to Floyd Mayweather. People say he arguably lost the first Triple G fight, and there's an argument that he may have lost the second one. So when you kind of get all of that, you say, well, yeah, you've got all the bodies on the record, but you've struggled in a lot of these fights, and you've even struggled in fights with people that you wouldn't consider either a great fighter or an elite fighter. You might just think they're a good fighter. So, you know, you look at that and then you say, well, you've got Terence Crawford, who's never really, apart from maybe the Gamboa fight where he had moments of issue, he's never, like, you know, struggled in a fight or been outgunned or, you know, just basically nicked it on the cards kind of thing. He's pretty dominant, and obviously the last 10 opponents he's faced, he's stopped. So yeah, like, performance wise, you've got to give it to Crawford. but maybe, yeah, in terms of recognizable names or names that have a bit more of a weight to them based on maybe what they've done after they faced Canelo as well as before, yeah, okay, you can kind of give him that. But yeah, look, to me, I feel as if it's an unfair statement, but hey, whatever you need to do to sell the fight. And you know, I think Crawford's already gonna be in his, well, you know, everyone's already said I ain't beat nobody, so that's cool. I've beat somebody now, and give me the fight and I'll beat you. I think that's his mindset. So I can definitely see that fight happening. There's a lot of money to be made in that fight. Two undisputed champions again going at it, but this undisputed champion probably people will think has more of a chance of winning that fight than Jermell Charlo does. So overall, I mean, I'd be very keen to see it, and let the respectful disrespect carry on. That's what I want to see. Quick shout out to Eddie Hearn, who basically did a, I don't know if it was only select media that knew about it, or some media basically heard and just sort of turned up. I didn't get a notification regarding it, but that's cool. Where Matchroom, the charity, the Matchroom charity arm, donated £10,000 to the Lynn AC gym, which is in Southwark, in southeast London. And yeah, basically the gym got closed down in June, July. I saw the video when it basically came out, and they was looking to do a GoFundMe to try and sort it and fix the gym up. But yeah, Matchroom went down there. Ellie Scottney went down there as well. She was a former Lynn alumni. Started training there I think at the age of 8 or 9, and now she's a world champion. So they definitely do something right over there. But yeah, Matchroom gave them the £10,000 from the Matchroom fund, or the Matchroom Foundation, whatever it's called. And yeah, so they got the work starting now, and I think the gym will be reopening on the 30th of September. So just a quick big ups to Eddie. That was a good move, and obviously it's not the be all and end all, and clearly there's going to be issues with either that gym or other gyms moving forward in terms of continual maintenance. But hopefully, as Eddie said, the governments can get involved and do some just do some work to allow these gyms to stay open, because a lot of those are the reasons why some kids stay out of badness, and it's definitely needed. So yeah, big up again, and long may that gym last, because it's a big staple of London, especially South. So a few days ago, to placate the lawsuit that Mahmoud Shah had against the WBA, they have now reinstated him as the WBA regular champion. That belt was supposed to be removed once the consolidation between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois took place, but they've now kept that one in circulation to appease Mahmoud Shah and to, I guess, save themselves some money from the continuation of the lawsuit. However, he now has to face Jerome Miller by the 14th of October. That needs to, if that doesn't take place by then, I think he will be stripped of the belt finally, and yeah, that will kind of be the end of that. But the interesting part is, after the Jerome Miller fight, the winner of that fight will then be ordered to face a contender of the WBA's choosing. Now, this isn't the next highest ranked opponent, it's literally of the WBA's choosing. So the thought process now is Frank Warren and Queensberry put in the official appeal about the Alexander Usyk fight with Daniel Dubois, and they said that they want it changed to a no contest, but at worst they'll settle for a rematch. Chances are both of those ain't gonna happen, but as a way to appease Frank and to keep, I guess, the WBA in the good graces of Queensberry, the common sort of consensus thought process now is that they will allow Daniel Dubois to fight the winner of Shah versus Miller for that WBA regular and then that will then put that person back into a position to finally consolidate that title with the proper WBA Super Championship at heavyweight. And if that's the case, so you would either get Matt Molina versus Daniel Dubois, or you get Jarrell Miller versus Daniel Dubois. This is obviously if the WBA chooses him as their next person, but based on the appeal and everything that have been put in, that might be their way of trying to smooth things over. So I could definitely see it taking place. When those fights get called, I'll make general predictions once I kind of know they're definitely happening. But either way, actually no, let me save that for basis picks. But yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah, I want to see what Char's got left. I want to see what Miller has got left as well. He's been better than Char recently, I suppose. He's been a lot more active, but time will tell. And last but not least, I guess I could end it on a bit of a positive, although it depends on how you look at and view the situation. But you've got Amanda Serrano, who was ordered to face her WBO mandatory, which was Daniela Ramos, who's Brazilian, I think currently living in Buenos Aires. Now, the interesting thing that's now come out about this fight is it's going to be contested under 3-minute rounds over 12 rounds in the fight. So basically just like a men's championship fight, which is a great thing. I think the last time women did 12 3-minute rounds was, I think, in 2007, if I remember correctly. So we're talking, a good while ago. And yeah, I mean, 16 years, give or take. It's a move in the right direction, because a lot of people are of the opinion that if women fight 3-minute rounds, there could end up being more knockouts. Now, obviously, to me, that's bittersweet, because while I love women's boxing and while I like a good knockout, I still kind of feel uneasy when I even see women taking punches and facial damage and all that sort of stuff, puffy swelling. It never really looks good optically, but I do enjoy the sport and I enjoy the fast-paced nature of it. So I feel that there's some female fighters that are perfectly suited to 3-minute rounds, and there's others that they've probably got the 2-minute round down to the T. Katie Taylor's definitely one of those. I think she would be a lot worse for wear in 3-minute round fights, but for 2 minutes, like, she is still elite and one of the best. But yeah, like, it's a big move. The one thing I noticed though, when I saw the poster earlier on today on X, and also shout out to Ring IQ, because I think I saw one of his videos and I think he addressed this as well. It says it's for the unified featherweight championships and not the undisputed. And I guess a bit like Ring IQ, I can only surmise that because the WBC have constantly said that they've done studies that women retain less fluid in the brain, and there's more damage to be had like the longer they're in the fight, so they won't allow women to do the 3-minute rounds for them. Maybe that's the belt that is not on the line, or potentially maybe Amanda has vacated a belt, or maybe just a different sanctioning body just wasn't interested in having that fight put on the card, or having that belt put on the fight. Maybe they didn't think it was big enough. I don't really know what the situation might be there, but I mean, I guess all signs really point to the WBC and their sort of way of doing things, if we're going to call it that. But look, ultimately, that the fact it's not an undisputed fight pales in comparison to the fact that it's the women fighting the same rounds as the men. And I think Amanda's, she's been doing a lot of good work trying to sort of champion the female sport forward over the last couple of years. Like, she had a period of time when, I can't lie, she wasn't like my favorite person, just due to some of the antics, especially around the original Katie Taylor situation. But she came back sort of, you know, dealt with that loss. You know, she lost the fight, but her stock massively rose as a result of it, and since then she's pretty much just been doing whatever she wants, and Godspeed to her. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be tuning into that one. It will be on DAZN on the MVP promotion. I think that is on October the 17th, if I'm correct, or no, it might even be November 17th, not 100% sure, but either way, whenever it is, I'll be watching 100%. But look, I'm gonna leave that one there because I am tired. I might be rambling a little bit, I apologize, and I need to get some sleep because I've got work early in the morning. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to be at the Tyson Fury Francis Ngannou press conference later on today, so hopefully I can get some footage to add into another video this evening. If not, then I'm sure the experience itself of just being at a freak show will be worth it, but that's a story for another time. So again, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe and share, and that's the Hardcore Casual out.